I cannot believe how much they packed into this tiny blaster. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Dartzone Max Venom Pro from the Nitro Shot Plus line. This is quite the shiny box, so we should have a shiny blaster that goes along with this. Without further ado, let's open it up and see what's inside. We get some eye protection. We get a charging cable for our rechargeable battery. We get 2 of the angled magazines and enough darts to fill them up. And then we also have this blaster here. This is the Venom Pro. What's very special about this tiny blaster is that it is fully automatic, which something this size, you typically can't say that's the case. But with the Venom Pro, you can. So this compact $50 blaster should do something that much larger blasters do as well. There's also some very nice features when you're setting this up. Let's take a look at the top of this blaster. This is a thumb screw, so you don't need a screwdriver to open up the battery hatch to charge this thing. It also uses an XT30 connector, so if you have any other sort of LiPo batteries that will work inside this battery cavity, you can just connect it up and this should be ready to go. So for the purposes of this review, we are going to just be using the stock battery in case you're wondering. Now, if we take a look at the blaster here, you can see that it is fairly symmetrical. Again, another marvel of this Venom Pro. You have a little bit of blaster sticking out on this side here, and that is just for the motor. And if you can see down the barrel, you can see that the flywheels crush the darts quite a bit, and I think that's going to help it with the purported 7 rounds a second coming out of this thing. Already, there's some differences about this. So as you can see, there isn't a rev switch here, and there isn't also a dual stage trigger. This dark gray part right here is how you rev the blaster. And you can see it spools up very, very quickly. I'm gonna have to squeeze my thumb a little tighter to the grip. Ooh, I guess maybe not that tight, because that, once you find the spot for the rev switch, it seems to yeah, it goes very quickly once you know the exact spot where to press on this thing. But without further, see, it's ready to go. Without further ado, let's get this thing going. Woo, all right. So I don't accidentally rev it. I'm going to put it in the safe mode. So the safety switch is on this side of the trigger. Did you see how fast that went? I am so impressed with this blaster already. Oh, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. I'm curious though, I want to see if I can use the Nightingale magazine, because that's what this seems similar to, the Nightingale from Worker. Let me see if I can't find the Nightingale. We'll load up the Nightingale magazine, try it in this, see if it works, and then also just compare the size and structure of the Nightingale to this. I'm really curious about that. All right, so for comparison's sake, here we have the Nightingale, here we have the Venom Pro, and there is a lot of similarity. The Nightingale is going to be just a little bit slimmer because it's not a full auto blaster. This is a dual stage trigger, one shot at a time, semi-auto type thing. This is packing a lot more in it than the Nightingale ever did. But does the Nightingale mag work in this? That I want to see. So here we have the Nightingale mag. I just have a whole bunch of darts in here. It seems to click into place. It seems that I can't pull it out. Everything seems to be working here. Now the next biggest test is going to be put this in fire mode. Was that all the darts, or did I jam it? Ah, jammed it a little bit. That was it. It wasn't a jam of the blaster, thankfully, because there is no jam door from what I can tell. It was a jam inside this Worker magazine. Now the Worker magazine fit in there, but it wasn't necessarily built for the Venom Pro, so I'm not gonna knock it for that. But it is something to note, if you are trying to use some Nightingale magazines, there might be some issues feeding it because, again, this wasn't specifically designed with this. This is the other Venom Pro magazine here, so let's just put it in here. We'll get these darts out of this thing very quickly. This is a 12-round magazine. This blaster fires about 7 darts a second, so in about 2 seconds, it should dump the entire mag. You'll have to verify just based on the time codes of how everything went. So this is really exciting. I'm having a lot of fun with this blaster, which is a really great thing to say about a performance level blaster, because it feels like lately I have been noticing performance level blasters feeling a little bit of the same to me, and this feels different. I love the colors behind it. I love how easy it is to use. I love how the in-grip magazine slides in and out. It is a very smooth action if I'm looking and seeing what I'm doing, but it's a very smooth action. It's also full auto, which is, I wouldn't expect that from a blaster this size, but here it is, a full auto pistol. A lot of fun, but like always, I'm gonna test this some more and give you some of my final thoughts. So good. Just like the initial impressions, this is a very fun blaster. It has remained a very fun blaster. And honestly, what I really like about it is it just does so much in a small little package. There's also just some nice quality of life features. So things like the thumb screw up in the front, the fact that it comes with a rechargeable battery that you don't have to worry about. And if you want to worry about it and put in your own LiPo battery, you can certainly do that. I would say it's somewhat compatible with some other magazines, as you saw with the Nightingale magazine that I was using. It works kind of, but you got to be careful of the darts you're using and not overloading it, all that kind of stuff, right? I think this is a really, really, really big winner for the people at Dartzone, especially the Dartzone Max line. I love this new neon green color too. I cannot sing enough praises about the Venom Pro. If you are looking for a simple, easy to use, flywheel, fully automatic blaster, start with the Venom Pro to look at like what your options are, because I think you'll be really impressed by how much they fit into such a small package. Now, a couple things that I don't necessarily like about the blaster, and it's two things. One is that because of the way that the mag fits in the grip of the blaster, the handle is a little clunky, it's a little awkward. And this is something that I've seen time and time again with most blasters that use the mags this way. And to me, it feels like a trade-off at this point, is if you want to have a blaster with the magazine in the grip of it, you're going to have to sacrifice some comfort with the trigger. The trigger finger sits quite a bit up from the rest of the hand here, so this part right here constantly runs into my middle finger. The other thing that I'm not a big fan of on this blaster is the way that this rev trigger works. If you hit it in the exact right spot, this thing spools up so quickly and it feels great. And oftentimes when you're not even trying to hit that trigger, it will rev up and like you're ready to go. So the safety and fire modes are going to be paramount when you're operating this blaster, because you don't want darts just flying everywhere. This back of the grip rev switch is something that Dartzone seems to be trying out. And if we're comparing this to the other Dartzone blaster that has recently experimented with a different type of rev switch, the Adventure Force Maxim Pro, I much prefer this one where it is a much more obvious trigger than this very subtle design. With the Maxim Pro, you really have to squeeze the trigger intentionally to have it click, connect, and then spool up the motor. Where this one, I've got it in fire mode now, I could be pressing it in a number of spots and it might not. It's hard to say. I'd much rather have that more mechanical sense of feedback when it comes to revving up this blaster, because here it just seems like you're guessing a little bit until it finally just starts going crazy. This is also going to be a preference thing. Some people are going to absolutely love this. I can see people thinking like this is probably the next thing in rev switches, and it very well might be. It's just I've been trained for, well, I mean, a while now on a certain type of revving up motors on a flywheel blaster, and this bucks the trend in a number of ways. What I like seeing that Dartzone is doing is that they're trying this in a number of different configurations, and I hope that the one that feels the best is going to win if they continue with this. And if my vote counts for anything, I'd much rather see the Maxim Pro version of the rev switch on the back than the Venom Pro one. But if I look at the blaster overall and give you my recommendation on this one, I think it's overwhelmingly positive. It's overwhelmingly like, go try one of these, go buy one of these if you are a performance level blasting enthusiast. And the simple reason for it is that every time that I pick this up, every time that I dumped the magazine in it, I was smiling. There was nothing making me like palm my face. Like, it was just a joy to use. And when it comes to foam dart blasters, that is the goal for me. They pack so much into it. It's incredible. Like, you could easily dual wield these things and just dominate. The Dartzone Max line has a real winner with the Venom Pro. I love this blaster. This is chef's kiss amazing. And this is something that I've been hinting at for like the entire review, but the fact that it comes in at that $50 price point with that much stuff in it means this is just an outstanding value for what you're getting. Definitely get your hands on a Venom Pro, try it out. I know you're gonna like it. That's everything I know about this blaster. And if you like blasters, I've got a lot of blasters, and I've got even more blasters to talk about in the future. But also, if you like action figures, collectibles, cool things like that, I think they're cool too. So you should definitely hit that subscribe button, follow button, whatever it takes to get the next video, because more videos are gonna be coming. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.